Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to another episode. I'm afraid you must be getting a little bit tired of all those image builder pull requests for uploading into different clouds. So I wanted to pick something else to work on, but this may be actually the last time in a while that we do some Go programming, because once we finish these, then I have basically no other business to do in the image builder project, so I will probably focus on something completely different for a while, and yeah, I don't know any other project that I want to contribute to that is in Go, so maybe it will be just a Python for a while. So this is the last opportunity to have some Go lag on screen, so we are going to take a look on it anyway, even though it's for 10th time now maybe. Alright, so what we are going to do on the image builder project. I have several pull requests open. This one is on the image builder itself, and it regards the upload to OpenStack. I have this one, which is also in the image builder itself and allows specifying custom tags when uploading to AWS. Those two are finished, but as you can see, they were blocked because all the CI failed, because we were waiting for a release of the library which implemented those features, and the image builder depends on it. So we were waiting for the library to be released, which was done yesterday, I think. So we can rebase our pull requests to use the newest version of the library and the images library. And once we do that, all the CI should pass now, and the pull requests should finally be mergeable. Lastly, we have this images, the library images pull request, which implements uploading to IBM Cloud. We have some feedback here that we need to address. We will take this for the last because this will be the most complicated one. All right, so let's start with the first one, which is uploading to OpenStack. Now we should jump to the main session in Tmax. Now, did I leak something or not? That's always the case. So I think we didn't leak anything here. And there was, I did some experiments. I don't know, the last time you can see I tried some uploading to OpenStack. This is lines of code in the Copper project. I was comparing it with something. Never mind. So that doesn't concern us. Now, image builder. What branch are we at? So we are at the OpenStack. All right. And what's the difference here? Why this is not committed? Do you know? All right. So let's switch to image builder CLI. Unstage changes. Yeah, there is a lot of them. All right. Let's stage them. I don't know if they are needed or not, but we are going to rebase and we will tackle this anyway. So we need to check out main. We need to fetch all the new changes. We need to go back to the OpenStack branch, which should be, yeah, that's the correct one. And we need to rebase from the main branch, which will produce merge conflicts, obviously. And I guess they are in the, yep, in this file. So go mod. So what do we see here? our branch uses older version of the blueprint than head, so we don't need this one. Older version of images than head, so we don't need this one. And this is also images, so we don't need this one. So we can just use what was in the main branch. Now if we do this, yep, everything is fine. And we can do git rebase continue, right? Could not apply, so we have another fail. Git status. Yep, both modified. So we will basically do the same here. So blueprint is older than head, images is older than head. So we can just use whatever was in head. That was the go mod. Now we need the go sum. Go sum. And it's the similar situation here. So you can see blueprint is is in our branch. Blueprint is older than head. So we can just remove this and use whatever is in head. There is no more changes. So we can git rebase continue. Right. So we successfully rebased. Now we can definitely squash these two, right? Because that was just a work in progress commit. So we squashed, and we have, oh, do you see the to-dos here? We need to address those. They weren't even noticed on the pull request review, I think. So, oh, we didn't want to commit this though. So, like this, but I will put it back so that I can use my Git version, my local version of the images library instead of the one that is like online, because I need to do changes to the library at the same time that I do in the image builder itself, right? So basically we have a last commit which removes it. We will squash it to here so that, see, it is not here anymore, but we have an unstaged change for this, which should remain only unstaged and never committed. Now, I said we need to figure out or fill in the to-dos here. So let's do just that. OpenStack image, OpenStack disk format, and OpenStack container format. I have no idea what those are because I basically took them from the glance script that we use to upload images to OpenStack currently. Anyway, I need to put some music on because this finished and I'm nervous. Right. Okay, good. So, I think we could take a look at the glance command and use a similar descriptions that they do. So if we take a look, do I have a glance installed? I think I have, right. So if we paste it to something where we can easily search and we do disk or maybe format, what do we search? Bear? No, because I'm convinced that we use it somewhere. If we do Fedora infra Ansible and we search for upload images. I think maybe this one or maybe a different one. Yeah, this one. Check this out. Container format and disk format when using glance image create. So man glance image create. See, it's mentioned here. So can we search for container format? Nope, that's the only mention of that. So let's take a look online. Glance image format. The disk format of a virtual image is the format of the underlying disk image. And here is the container format, right? So I don't know if we want to, I don't think we want to enum or list all the possible options. Let's just put a simple description there. So basically OpenStack disk format here. The disk format of a virtual machine image. Yeah, right, that's fine. Yeah, container format. What's container format? The container format refers to whether the virtual machine image is in a file format that contains metadata about the actual virtual machine. I have no idea what I've just read. Refers to whether the virtual machine image is in a file format that also contains metadata about the actual virtual image. Do not assume that all OpenStack services handle all. Yes. Console documentation, you can set container format. Is there a better explanation for that? Container. Yeah, well, the container format indicates if the VM image is in a file format. Let's do something like this indicates if the file, if the image contains metadata about the VM. This indicates if the image contains metadata about the VM. I think this kind of makes sense, at least. to me it makes similar sense to what's in the documentation. Now this is just name of the uploaded image, right? So this should be basically same like this or lib with volume. So simply name of the uploaded image should be the right word. Name for the uploaded image. That sounds good to me. By the way, all the previous parameters end with start with a small letter, not a capital letter, so we will do the same also here. So name for the uploaded image, the disk format of the virtual, and lowercase also here, right? So this is, I think, finally good enough. Yeah, so let's squash this into this. Now we have our argument parser, we have everything here, and it is possible we will fail to go build this. No, we need to change the directory to cmd, or not? Probably not, we are in the right. Yeah, we are in cmd image builder, so we can just go build. This will work, I think, because we are using the images library from my local from my file system. But if we git stash and try to use the images library that is online, then this fails. I think we can go mod tidy, which should download, go build. This should work also now, but I think it added a dependency. Yeah, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So it added a dependency on the newest version of the images library, which is exactly what we needed. The 204 doesn't contain the OpenStack pull request yet. So we need to squash also this. Yeah, that's correct. Right. And let's push this. So we can close this, and I think CI should start running here. Yep, CI started running. Now, I think this is all we needed to do for the OpenStack. Maybe there will be some other error that appears, but we are not going to wait. We are jumping straight ahead to another pull request, which is the one for setting custom tags when uploading to AWS. So what branch this is? It's AWS tag. Git checkout AWS tag. We need to rebase from main. For some weird reason, there weren't any merge requests, which is strange. But we need to definitely adjust the dependency here, because I doubt. Yeah, I think it was released in the same version of the library that the OpenStack was. So we can test this probably, because if we do go build now, it works. Okay, so if we take a look at go mod, and search for images, it says 204. So, okay, let's push this. And in the meantime, let's take a look what version we actually need. So if we go to the images repository, and if we take a look at the commit history, sorry, my brain isn't working today. There is something related to AWS for sure. Tag. Yep. We need this. So we basically need this command. Check this out. It says or no, I guess it's tagged in the 204 also, right? If we take a look, is there a date somewhere? Yeah. So this one is correct. This one is correct. The 204 is good enough, which means that was all that we needed to done for all we needed to do for the AWS tag, and I think this one is the last remaining. By the way, I'm just at this very moment getting a message from Simon from the image builder team, so let's take a look. Hopefully it's not anything private. Can you add first text reference of us built group in the graph? I forgot name of group. Right. So let's take a look at the, by the way, lovely. I like to hear that I'm a friend of OS Build. So let's take a look at the support uploading to IBM Cloud pull request. Now, this is a nitpick, but it's easy to fix. Let's do it. Let's go to IBM Cloud branch in the images repo, but also here. Git checkout IBM Cloud, git stash pop, so that we use our development version of the images. Let's jump to the images and whatever happens here. This was an experiment with the check branch. I will explain very shortly, but we can throw this away. So if we throw this out and check out to, maybe let's check out to IBM Cloud. We won't do any rebases for now, and we will rebase everything afterwards. So we should have, on the left we have image builder, on the right we will open images. So images, IBM Cloud. So what was the nitpick? Our current schema for this import standard library first, sure. Then external depths, this one, and then image imports. So ideally we would move, yeah. So this one is an external library. From the no. I was wrong. I think because he said for this so imports from the standard library goes first, these ones. Then external depths, these ones. And then images imports, this one. Right, so this is what I wanted to do, I think. Yeah, okay, I think this is good. So we can maybe commit it just as a work in progress, because we will squash it anyway. So we address this one. Ideally, we would do parts of the checks here too. So this is what was the experiment here, and basically the checks doesn't run when you would expect, because you would expect to first run the checks, and if the checks pass, only then start the upload. If the checks fail, don't even bother with the upload because the checks failed. That's not the case though, and even if the checks fail, then the upload is started, which doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't know if that's a bug or the checks have a different purpose. But we discussed this in the OpenStack pull request, which is merged now. So let's take a look. My pull request support uploading to OpenStack. And if we take a look somewhere here, we discussed this very topic, and we decided that we will leave the check empty and they will refactor or improve the checking mechanism, and only when it works as we would all expect, then we will add the tests or the checks. So copy link here. So as per this in this, the checks for now. By the way, my neighbors are again trying to drill something, so hopefully it won't be too annoying for you. If yes, I will mute the microphone for a while. Their current idea is to drill 2 holes every day and then drill another 2 holes another day and another day. I don't know why they don't do it all at once, but what I can do. So we addressed this and this. Now, yeah, this makes sense. Why is this using session must? Because I have no idea what session must is, and this was basically generated by ChatGPT for us, and I assumed it's fine, but I assume it will run panic. So yeah, we don't want to run panic. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have committed this when I didn't know what it does. I should have checked. So So of course we need to change this to do standard error handling. Now this is line 62-ish. Must 61 at this moment. So we basically want to do exactly what Michael is recommending here, right? So the fuck is happening with the so let's do session or error equals this. Then we need to do standard error handling if error, this one, and put it here. So session or error, session new session from the config, that's correct. Failed to create a session with the error, that's it, right? I think this is good enough. And we can maybe, let's do it this way. Good. Can we go build now? Go build. Unexpected bracket 62. All right, for some reason. I think it was his typo, no problem. Good. So that was the easy stuff. And now there is the biggest obstacle that we have for today, basically. By the way, before we get to it, let's refresh these two. What about the CI? Still no failures and still no failures. This looks promising. All right. So the problem here is that we are reading environment variables in a library code. So I agree that's not a smart idea. We should pass them from the clients using the library, and if they read it from the environment variables, that's fine. But if they read it from somewhere else, that's fine too. The library shouldn't care, basically. It should just receive the values and that's it. So let's read this and continue. So, as Michael noted above, the check should not be done here. Yep, we agree, but we addressed that right now, a few minutes earlier. However, I don't think that we should default reading env variables in the library code. Makes sense. I would suggest that the values are passed to the upload implementation also by value. Yeah, I agree. This is not yet implemented in any other upload implementations because it is really not complete and designed only around a narrow use case to enable uploads in image builder. However, if you take a look at the underlying implementation, e.g. for AWS, you will see multiple constructors that allow passing the credentials or an API key in multiple ways. I think it would be sensible to provide more options so that the code could be used also, i.e. in OS Build Composer. I have no idea what's in OS Build Composer. So ideally we would take a look at the constructors, right? So where is the constructor? underlying implementation. I have no idea where that is though. So what do we use? We use the API key is passed into the credentials. So we are talking about the credentials here. Yep, and we are saying with credentials. So do we need to take a look at basically this? New static credentials. And there are new static credentials, new trusted profile credentials, new env credentials. All right, so there is a lot of kinds of credentials. The problem is, I don't want to support all of these. I have no clue how they work, how to test them, and so on. I have just my use case. So I would prefer if somebody else improved the code to their use case and their use case, and maybe to grow this. But maybe that would lead into an imperfect implementation in the end. So we could, because the problem is I don't want to expose all of these to the image builder itself. That's not how they do it. They abstract everything in a way that there is this IBM or AWS and so on very underlying library. Then the images library uses that library, and image builder only uses the images library and doesn't know anything about the underlying libraries. So we would basically need to provide a different struct for every type of login or auth. And we can do that, you know. It shouldn't be that hard, because we'll implement only the one, and whoever wants a different auth mechanism, they can just implement their own struct that they need. I think that would be nice. So let's go. Basically, we have types here defined like this, so we can do probably something like type. For example, we use what? Static credentials. So let's do static credentials, right? Which is a struct, and it contains what? It will contain the API key, which is going to be a string, and it will contain a CRN, which is also a string, not strict, sorry, string, right? So this is our static credentials. Could we for example, if somebody else wanted to use some other type of credentials. Yeah, see, new config credentials, for example, which could use the file name instead of, for example, the API key here. Now, in other languages, I would define a type that would be basically the static credentials type or the config credentials type or some other, but I am afraid this doesn't work in Go. I think this is the limitation of their type system. So, does Go have union types? Does not have union types. You can't write or define function like. So you can emulate union using interfaces. Yeah. Okay. So we can basically, this looks fine to me. So we should be able to use a type which is going to be credentials in this case. Credentials, which is going to be static credentials, or it would be nice to do something like, let's do the config credentials. So we'll use config credentials, right? Use this credentials and smaller case here, and it won't be API key, it will be only file name and profile name. So file name, profile name, right? Which is going to be a string, right? So when defining our credentials, that could be static credentials or config credentials, right? Can we build this? We can, good. Now, wherever we want to use this, we need to pass this from the outside world. So let's take a look at what we do on the image builder side. On the image builder side, we basically, shit, sorry, I pressed, what the hell did I press? Alright, so again, support uploading, I think I wanted to go exactly here. So this creates our uploader for IBM Cloud, and this reads the image builder name, IBM Cloud, image name, IBM Cloud region, and IBM Cloud bucket from the command line. At the same time, it would be nice if it read these two from the environment variables, right? So these, now whenever, should we import format here or no? No, that's not a problem. The format is used also here. It's just, it should return two values. So this needs to be nil and the error. So this is good now. And we need to pass the upload the credentials to the uploader. So I think something like, we don't want to do API key and CRN. We don't want to do this. I think we want to do something like credentials instead. Now, what is going to be credentials? That should be an instance of our static credentials. Same way it's created here. So we are going to create credentials. Since we are in Go, maybe it should be just creds or something like that. They like to use abbreviations. Now, of course, not AWS Cloud, but IBM Cloud. Not credentials, but config, no static credentials, right? So if you take a look, yeah, no typo, that's correct. Now this is not target arc. This is API key and CRN. API key, which is going to be API key, and CRN, which is going to be CRN. And I think this will not work because these are lowercase, so we may need to change that. Yeah, and we have too many arguments because the IBM new uploader, which is this one, expects only a few of them. So we need to pass the credentials here, which is going to be an instance of credentials, I think. Yep, we cannot use outside of type constraint. Oh, maybe. So no. I think this is incorrect. So the question is, if we take a look for libvirt, for example, there should be some opts somewhere. No. I remember I've seen some opts somewhere. So maybe the AWS Cloud opts. No, not really. So maybe it will be in the uploader. Opts here, yeah. Yeah. See, it's an asterisk. So is it like in C? Is this a pointer to uploader options? I'm not sure. But uploader options type struct, and they use asterisk here. So we probably need to do the same. And I forgot where it was. It was in the type, not the variable name. So like this. And we failed anyway. All right. So what do we have here? What if we just copy paste this here and ask for an explanation? You've defined an interface with type terms, a generic type, but use it like a normal interface. You likely have something, and then you're using it like this. That's not valid Go. The correct way to use it. Oh, we need to do some magic. All right. So I'm very confused. I'm very confused. I have and want to use it here. Okay, so I have this, and there's the error, sure. The correct fix is all right. Yep. This is exactly what I need, what I want to have. So this is just some Go thingy that I don't understand. T credentials and credentials have is asterisk T. Asterisk T. Okay. Go build. Yep. We moved past that and we are just having the problems with the lowercase as I expected. So API key and CRN. Same with these. And we are going to no, these are the small ones, these are the big ones. Go build. So we got through several issues. So what's the problem? Name static credentials not exported by package IBM Cloud. You are lying to me. Please insert the Anakin Skywalker liar gif. Because I would bet we do that. Oh, no. It's not lying because C is the smaller. I think that's the same situation. We basically need the uppercase. But how is it possible that, for example, this type is exported? Is it because of this nonsense? I don't understand that. If you take a look at IBM, but at AWS, I'm sorry, I'm messing my words today. So if we take a look at the AWS uploader, the options are uppercase. So we will do the same. I don't care. So static or config, which is going to be config and static, and here we will use the uppercase, not status but build. Cannot use generic functions new uploader without instantiation. Where? Upload 35. Here. Ooh, that's annoying though. Sure. Oh, I see. So we basically need to specify the type. Specify the type here. Like this? Is it possible? Is it syntax error? Or maybe we need to use it here. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call. And let's continue. Now, I was thinking I needed to do something like this, right? Is it a complete nonsense? I think this is a nonsense. Yeah, this is a nonsense. What if we put it here? This is a nonsense too. It's not an expression, so this is some weird magic. I need to use it here. Is the core of the problem. Yeah. I agree. Oh, like this. All right, I was trying something else, right? I was trying to put it in front. For some reason it wants it after now. So, like this? Right, good. Good. So we are now passing credentials, right? This means we should have an access to these two variables. Ideally, I would like to print them and see if they contain the values that I need them to contain. But that would mean I would leak the credentials again, which is an ongoing meme right now. So we will just try it and we will see. So basically I have API key, which should be, yeah, the IU is the uploader. It should have its credentials and it should have the API key value. So I think this is the values that we want to use. CRN is CRN. Now, where are these used? Only here. So we will use them directly there. Like this. And like this. So we can remove this garbage. Since we moved this to the image builder, we can remove this garbage too. We possibly want to move this to the image builder too. I'm not sure. We will consider that in a second. Let's try to build. Okay, OS imported but not used. Sure, typical. IU credentials undefined. And that's because we take the credentials here, but we don't do anything with them. Which means we need to have a credentials here, which is going to be, this type magic kills me, which is going to be I will ask, I will not try to figure it out. I also have this. What is the type I should use instead of to do. Yes, exactly, we have this type, sure. So it's just T? You sure about that? Okay, so let's do just T. Is this correct? That doesn't look correct. Oh, because where is my uploader? Uploader here. Uploader here. I forgot to credentials. I don't like this very much. I don't like this very much at all. So line 15. Oh my goodness, I don't like this at all. This should contain something like static credentials. Okay, 15. Okay, we fixed that one. 39. Sure, this should also contain static credentials. 47. But that's a problem though. That's a problem though, because the uploader could be, oh my god, another phone call. It was FedEx this time. All right, let's go back to the work. Now, I was thinking on my way down and up the building that this is not what we want to do, because instantiating the uploader right here, saying that we want to use the static credentials is fine, because this is image builder code, and image builder can always use, for example, the static credentials and don't support anything else. But the whole reason why we are defining different structs for the credentials is that we want to support multiple different types of credentials within the library. But then we are doing some stupid stuff like instantiating it with only static credentials, which completely destroys the purpose. So this is not what we are going to do. I changed my mind. We are going to do something very similar to the opts struct in the AWS uploader. We are going to get rid of this. We are not going to have static credentials or config credentials or stuff like that. We will only have a struct credentials, which is going to have these keys, all of them, like this. Static config. Right, so we can remove all of this. This is not going to be typed. And this is going to be credentials. easy as that. Now we probably need to fix the spacing here. So we will put some comments here that this is for config credentials, static credentials. Maybe we will do something like this. Yeah. We could probably do something like, what's there as well? Config, custom init func, okay, env credentials. So we could do env credentials. We'll put just sudo here. What's next? Env credentials, shared credentials, maybe shared credentials to do, and static, no static, we have trusted profile credentials, trusted profile credentials, which is going to be to do again. If we take a look at the parameter names, so this is trusted profile, this is, so shared credentials have the same, has the same parameters as the config credentials. All right, so the names, not collide, they basically they use the same names for multiple functions, so we cannot do this because it would look like this and it would be twice there. So let's maybe do this. How does env credentials look like? Yeah, env credentials doesn't have anything because it just reads it from the env. So I know what we are going to do. Trusted profile has, we will do this, which is going to be string. This is going to be string too. And this is going to be service instance ID. That's weird, but okay. That's string 2, right? Yeah. So what if we do something like this? The env credentials are going to be basically checked on. This needs to be uppercase though. So if we use something like this, drop this and use just credentials, asterisk, get rid of this and jump here. All right, so if we now try to go build, what happens? Undefined T, IBM Cloud 40. Oh yeah, this is the garbage also here, and here it is supposed to be credentials, should be just credentials like this. Can I do credentials as credentials? What's wrong? 44 here. Is it a problem that there is the asterisk? So if we take a look at the uploader, what do? They have new uploader. It has opts with asterisk. Alright, so they do... they copy it like this, so I don't like that at all. But alright. We can do that. So we can basically take these, put them here, do lowercase on all of those. I don't like that at all. And we can, oops, I didn't want to close this, sorry. We can, instead of credentials, do all of these here, like this. Now it's not as like this. Ah, shoot. Now, like this. And what's going to be the value? So it's going to be credentials dot whatever API key, right? Like this. This is going to be the CRN credentials file name. The uppercase file name though. Same here with profile name, credentials profile name, credentials profile trusted profile ID, credentials CR token file path, and the last one is credentials service instance ID. I think we need to align them properly. We need to move all of those. This is boring. Like this, like this, like this. I should have run go for math probably. Never mind. So we did this. What's now? Line 51. There is some problem. Oh, we are missing commas at the ends. Sure. IU credentials is undefined at the line 72 here. Because we don't have IU credentials, it's all in the uploader now. Undefined static credentials, where 178 here, 178 here. So this is static credentials, alright. So we need to do just credentials like this. Good. So we finally built this. Now we need to do some magic. Basically, we are defining the credentials here, and we are using new static credentials, and we are using the API key and CRM for that. I think we need to create a new function. That would be probably the best. So func, what is it going to return? Let's take a look at what we did in libvirt. So we had function, yeah, this was a helper function volume XML. Yeah, this looks, so this is the same scenario, right? We have a helper function IU for IBM Cloud Uploader. It is going to be named get credentials, get credentials, maybe credentials, and it is not going to have any arguments, I think, but it is going to return, that's the question, right? Because it should return, for example, new static credentials. The problem is, it would be better if it could return new static credentials or new dead credentials or dead credentials. So, but this all returns credentials. All right. So we can probably, this is AWS credentials. AWS credentials. So if we do this, do I have something like credentials now, which is going to contain the credentials struct, and we are going to return an asterisk of that? Is it possible? Or am I just inventing non-existing stuff? Sure, the trailing slash can be removed. Undefined new uploader, where? 100. Oh, of course. IBM Cloud Uploader. Okay, so this looks surprisingly reasonable. So if we take this and simply return the credentials, is it going to work? It seems to. So if we, in that case, create credentials, is going to be get credentials like this, undefined. So it probably depends on the order of the defined stuff. So if we put it at the very top, still undefined. Oh, it doesn't matter on the order, we just need to call it with IU probably. So IU get credentials. Yeah, it works. Good, nice, this is exactly what I wanted. We don't need to create the variable though. Still works, right? So my idea was that if IU API key and like this is, I don't know if this is completely wrong or not. IU API key and IU CRN, then I was going to return this. Missing return, I need to I want to return error in that case, so we need to figure out how to return errors. That's one thing. Invalid operation not defined, of course. So yeah, how do I write a go on condition that two strings are not nil? I think we need to compare with nil or empty string. Yeah, exactly. But is the end working? Yeah, the end was correct, so only the comparison was a problem, so it needs to be this and this. Missing return, sure. I don't need the brackets. I don't need the brackets, nice. Okay, so now I want to return the error. I did something like it here. So we imported errors and did error new. So no usable credentials found. Now it should, sure, undefined errors. Missing return. Oh, we need to return it, of course. Cannot use, sure. The thing is, do I need to specify that this returns error or value? Okay, so basically I need to specify that I return either the credentials or an error, and therefore I need to parse the credentials here, which is going to be credentials or error. If error, then the typical error handling, right? So this I will probably just return the error. That's good enough. Now, what's the problem? Undefined error. If you take a look here, oh, it's error. there is very confusing line wrap. So this is not error, this is error. And not enough return values, of course, because this is incorrect. I think I know what I need to do, but let me look at some other example. Yeah, the correct value, comma, nil. So I think we need to do the same here. We need to we need to comma nil, there is no error, and we need to nil comma because there is no value. Nice. So at this point we have credentials and we have yeah, we have everything. So I think we can do the same for other credentials providers, right? So we can compare these. So if IU file name not an empty string and IU profile name is not an empty string, then we can probably use the which one was that? The config credentials. So if we do something like this, new config credentials, now let's take a look at the new config credentials. So it's config, which is the config. Now the file name and profile name, and that should be it. So go build. Yep, this works. And the last case is the TC, which is this one. So it will be the similar case like this, but we will ask for trusted profile ID. If trusted profile ID or CR token and also IU service instance ID, if all these, then we will return trusted profile credentials CR. Why is that the CR? What the CR means? New trusted profile credentials CR, and it will be, of course, what values? Config, auth endpoint. So is it possible the auth endpoint is this? Then the profile ID, trusted profile ID, CR token, and the last one is the service instance ID, right? Go build. Unexpected name string at, yeah, this is the copy paste here, so we can like this. So invalid operation. Oh, of course, because I didn't put the equals empty string here. Now it works. Okay, and we can probably do the same with with the environment. I don't know how to incorporate the environment there. It could be Boolean. It could be Boolean. Or we could like move this whole code here. Or we can just not do the environment credentials. I think this is good enough. Maybe they can do it. Maybe somebody can improve it afterward. Now, I was confused about the auth endpoint. So is the auth endpoint same for the new static provider? It is. I think we should abstract it then as well. So auth endpoint like this, which is going to be a string, and our current value for that is here. We will move this value to here. Auth endpoint equals this, comma, so that we can use IU auth endpoint, and same here, but we also need to pass the value, so it's credentials auth endpoint. This needs to be uppercase, and the same needs to be here but lowercase. Auth endpoint like this. We can go build it. We cannot. What do we duplicate, where and why? 57. 57. 57 is here. Apiki. Oh, I didn't rename it. Auth endpoint. Sure. Good. I think we are getting to the finish line, slowly but surely. So the credentials are parsed on the image builder side. Then they are parsed, then they are passed to the library as credentials. And then basically we decide what credentials we want to use based on what values do we have. I think this is good enough. I didn't test all of those, but I test some. I test the static. So what if we try to IBM Cloud? Are we uploading? We are uploading. This works. All right. So I think we should maybe end it here, because this was good enough progress. We could force it to the finish line, but it is possible that And the finish line would be maybe adding the environment credentials, or maybe, I don't know, fixing tests if they need to be fixed, or maybe I don't know what. But I'm not sure if this is the approach that the image builder folks will like or not. So I would just leave it as is and let them do another review, and we will see where to go from there. So we should probably commit this. Yep, a lot of stuff. I will mark it as work in progress only. The same here. Now we need to run Go format. So Go. I'm in the wrong directory probably, or not. Go format dot. Yeah, it formatted. Nice. And also in the images, go format dot no go files. So we are in the wrong directory there. No, I mean that. Oh. IBM Cloud, we want to format here. Yeah, it formatted something. Good. So I think we can commit this. And we can squash everything into the original commit. And we can force push it. Same for the image builder itself. We can squash it into the original. We can force push this into the pull request. Now, should we rebase from main here? We could git checkout main, git pull rebase, git checkout IBM Cloud, git rebase main. No merge conflicts. Nice. Git push. Force, of course, because we rebased. Right. So we can close this, our 3 pull requests. So this is still running, but only one test, everything else passed. Nice. The AWS tags one, same situation, everything passed but one. And this is the IBM Cloud, which is running and should contain our new changes with the credentials. Yeah, a lot of code regarding to that. So perfect. We can consider this good enough for today's session. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this will get through. And we need to figure out what other projects we want to work on, because we want some diversity in the programming languages, and all of the projects I work on regularly are Python. So if you have some ideas, let me know. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.